All right, let's get cooking. Welcome to the latest edition of Chin Check Sports Radio. I'm your host, JD. I want to thank you all for taking the time out to join us. And as always, we welcome any suggestions, feedback, comments, and criticisms, which improves the quality of our program, which ultimately improves your listening experience. Before we get started, I want to send all of you our thank you for your tremendous support. Once again, people are slowly but surely finding out about who we are and what we do. They enjoy and respect the passion with which we speak. But we do this because we love it. As we continue to share our passions with you all, as we continue to build our listening army to take over the world. Definitely want to send all of you, or hope that all of you had a blessed holiday with the impending new year that is right around the corner. So, of course, we're a little bit late in doing our review for the 2001 Dallas Cowboys Week 15. Dominating win at home against the Washington football team, completing the season sweep, which was a good payback from last year because the Washington football team beat the brakes off the Cowboys twice last season. Let's jump right into our stats here. Quarterback Dak Prescott, 28 of 39 attempts, 330 yards, 4 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott, 9 carries, 37 yards and a touchdown. Tony Pollard, 8 carries, 34 yards. Dak Prescott, 4 carries, 21 yards. Amari Cooper, 7 catches, 85 yards, 1 touchdown. Malik Turner, 3 catches, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. Tight end Dalton Schultz, 8 catches, 62 yards, 1 touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 4 catches, 66 yards. Michael Gallup, 2 catches, 53 yards. On the defensive side, Demonte Kazee, 5 total tackles, 3 solo. Keanu Neal, 5 total tackles, 3 solo. Leighton Vander Esch, 4 total tackles, 2 solo. Rookie sensation, Micah Parsons, 3 total tackles, 3 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle, 4 loss. Kelvin Joseph making his season debut, 3 total tackles, 3 solo, 1 tackle, 4 loss. Donovan Wilson, 3 total tackles, 2 solo. Terrell Basham, 3 total tackles, 1 solo, half a sack. DeMarcus Lawrence, 2 total tackles, 2 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 interception return for a touchdown. Folks, an otherwise dominating performance, 56-14. I mean, really nothing much else to say. I mean, Trayvon Diggs on Washington's first or second offensive possession. Quarterback Taylor Heineke decides to go deep. Great play by Trayvon Diggs making the interception. You had DeMarcus Lawrence making a nice interception, return it back 40 yards for a touchdown. The Cowboys seem to get back in sync offensively. Of course, all the questions coming to this game is what was wrong with Dak? Is Dak in a slump? Is he ever going to work out of a slump? I think he more than answered those questions, even though now people want to minimize it, saying it's the Washington football team. But before that game, it was, a divisional opponent. Cowboys, struggled to beat Washington last time, even though they dominated the game. But the game came down to one final possession. So we're going to give the Cowboys all the credit here. Again, beating a divisional opponent to move into second place in the NFC playoff standings. The game was so dominant, right tackle Terrence Steele even caught a touchdown pass. Now, really put that in perspective. That's how dominating the performance was. Really nothing too much to critique. If there was a slight critique, maybe the offensive line was a little bit leaky in pass protection, but other than that, not too much else to say. I was impressed by Kelvin Joseph, Boss Man Fat, he goes by the rap name of Boss Man Fat, or the Fat Man Boss, or something to that effect. Rookie second round pick out of Kentucky. And I've always said this, when I've had my critiques of Anthony Brown, and they are still well warranted, because of the draft of Kelvin Joseph and Deshaun Wright, is I felt the reason why that Anthony Brown, he had improved play. Now, due to Jordan Lewis being out for COVID, they had to slide Anthony Brown more as a slot corner, and I thought Kelvin Joseph actually played very well. His first start, again, he was a second-round draft pick, played in the SEC, so clearly there was something about this guy that the Cowboys saw. Him and sixth-round pick defensive tackle Quentin Bohanna, they were on the same team. So I like what I saw from Kelvin Joseph. He's a nice addition definitely on the defensive side, somebody opposite Trayvon Diggs, because when they start playing the Tom Brady's of the world, the Aaron Rodgers of the world, they might not go after Trayvon Diggs too much, but they're going to pick on the other corner, whether it be Brown, whether it be Kelvin Joseph, whether it be the other rookie, Deshaun Wright, who himself had 2 total tackles and 2 solo in this particular game. So definitely, I like what I saw there. Defensively, they're definitely solid on the defensive side. Again, with Michael Parsons leading the way, you have Randy Gregory, you have D. Lawrence, the Terrell Bashams. They recently lost Justin Hamilton, and that's more so due to they are so stout and so full and have a nice, good rotation on the defensive line. Of course, that leaves less room for folks to be there. So we wish Justin Hamilton the best. I like this play, but I think the Cowboys do have enough defensive tackles as you start to go to try to make a decent postseason run. The game was so dominating that they had to talk about the Washington football team's assistant running back coach, who was a female. Now, listen, I'm glad the woman got the job, and if she's qualified for it, great. Clearly, she's qualified for it because she wouldn't be there if she wasn't qualified. But who really gave a damn at that point, because the Cowboys were beating the hell out of Washington. And for a story to keep viewers turned in, they were talking about the assistant running backs coach. So all the Washington football team fans who just a couple of weeks ago were saying, after winning 4 straight games, how they won in Dallas. Well, they got Dallas twice and they got beaten twice. Also, people are talking about the Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen incident. Of course, as a Cowboys broadcast, we really don't talk about other teams, but we did tweet on it by stating that we agree wholeheartedly with what Jonathan Allen did. I know the two of them patched it up, but you don't point your finger in another grown man's face, especially in the temple area. That is a sign of disrespect. That is a functional equivalent to slapping a man, spitting on somebody, telling a man to suck a you-know-what. That's just some stuff you just don't do. Man law, male pride, whatever you want to call it. You don't point your finger in another grown man's face, and that's why Allen got up, fired one in the direction of one Deron Payne, and that clearly got Payne's attention. But again, that was very disrespectful, and we didn't agree with that. So now, coming up this week, the Cowboys are playing the Arizona Cardinals at home. We owe them for last season. Again, I believe that was the first game that Dak missed, and they ran all over the Cowboys. The Cardinals are coming in a little bit of a slump. At one point, they were the number 1 seed in the NFC. Now I think they're like the 5th seed, I believe. But this game is still good because the Cowboys are still in contention for the number 1 seed. And I'm not too sure whether they should be the number 1 seed, and here's why. The last 2 times in 2007 and 2016, where the Dallas Cowboys were the number 1 seed, they lost their divisional game. So I know that they're fighting to get the number 1 seed, but I don't know if they're ready for it. I would still like for them to beat the Arizona Cardinals if they stay at the number 2 seed, which is considering they have the same record as Tampa, even though Tampa won the head-to-head. However, they have a better record within a conference than does Tampa Bay. So if they're looking for playoff seeding, because either way, only the Green Bay Packers are going to get a bye under the new playoff format, where for those of you who don't know, just years ago, it was the top 2 teams who got the bye, but now only the number 1 seed, they get the bye now. So Green Bay is now the number 1 seed. Dallas, they can try to go for the number 1 seed, but really at this point, they're deciding who they're going to be playing in the first round. So right now, if the playoffs were to start today, they'd be playing division arch rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. If they were to drop down to the 3 seed, they'd be playing, I believe, the San Francisco 49ers. If they were the 4th seed, right now they would be playing the Arizona Cardinals. So really the Cowboys are playing for seeding. They clearly are going to have a home playoff game as a divisional winner, so that's a good thing. So now it is about matchups. I think and they have to be very strategic about how they rest players. Again, I want Ezekiel Elliott to get as much rest as possible. I think this game is good because it got the offensive line some reps, which is what they needed. Obviously, you take the receivers out of the game. You can take some defensive players out of the game. Dak got some good rest. Ezekiel got some good rest. So I know you have to be very strategic with now in a 17-game season about resting guys too long and too much, and they're rusty and not physically ready for the playoffs. And that's something that the coaches are going to have to really strategically make that happen. Whether it's guys play a first half, rest for the second half, how much do they want to play for the number 2 seed? So that's something that the Cowboys coaches are going to have to make a decision about that. But again, we'll be looking forward to it. And again, until the next time, it's Chin Check Radio signing out.